Okay, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Smith, his first carry, and a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And this will be a pickup of 4 here, up to their own 20. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Watch the whip. He's coming, he's coming, he's coming.
On third down, Vic out of the gun. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
We got 3.
First carry for the former Florida Gator, Jordan Scarlett. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now Scarlett. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Check 45 to Mike. Check 45 to Mike.
They'll run with Scarlett. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Jordan Scarlett, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The extra point up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now 1 in the first quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move, but the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. What do you have, 4 in the game last week? Without having some go-to moves with counters.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Vic to throw it. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this deep on a Carolina side of the field.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
2nd and 7 at the 15-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing, Vic. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Vic readies to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll run for it with Smith, and I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down, and the Panthers will get the football back.
3 bud. Go. He goes to you.
They will start the drive with Scarlett. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. This is Scarlett on the carry, and he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They'll run it with Scarlett. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Third and 2, now Haskins. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
The Falcons take over first and 10.
Let's go.
At their own 24-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. On 2nd and 10, Vick buying time to his left. He'll run it. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Slam, slam, slam. 22, watch the ship, watch the ship.
From the gun, Vick. It's caught. Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 22. That is his 951st NFL reception. So 49 away from 1,000, but 951. That ties him with Andre Reed.
Oh, I love the trigger there because Andre Reed,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the second quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the first quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap.
I think he tried to lull him to sleep a little bit. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you've got me this week. No longer. And you know, with the 4 sacks last week, it's obvious he gets his in flurries.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Jump. Hey, watch out.
Working out of the gun, Michael Vick. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determine that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. Now a give here to Scarlett. That one good for 26 and a first down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
On the handoff, it's Scarlett. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
35-yard line.
Let's go with the flag. Come on, 45. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Let's go. Drive on. Zoom, zoom.
Now a shotgun handoff to Scarlett, and he'll get this up to about the 40. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. They go play action with Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football. Well, he cannot get away. Down goes Vic. Brian Burns racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Sick guy. Slam, slam, slam. Back.
From the shotgun, they run with Smith. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. He digs them partway out of the hole that they're in. It's an 8-yard gain, and it makes it 3rd and 12. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On 3rd down, Vic. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Check my 45. He's tired of me. He's tired of us.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
From the 44, Haskins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is. Here on 3rd. On the draw, it's Scarlett. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Looking to throw, Haskins. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
On 3rd and 2, Haskins. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
On 1st and 10, here's Vick. And off the deflection, it's caught. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Here's Vick. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This will be the final play of the half. Vick. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
He's going to look deep down the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And Vic's throw there, incomplete. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 23-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 26-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. From just shy of midfield, Haskins. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now they try the right side here. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Carolina. Jordan Scarlett with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Point after, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Vic. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone.
This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to get this deep on a Carolina side of the field. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Ito Smith trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Dante Jackson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. And to give this time to the tailback. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Third down. Here's Haskins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
Let's go, let's go.
At their own 29-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the inning, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they do the interception and finish off the drive, that does them no good.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brian Burns, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Vick now. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Third and long for Vick. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot. Not all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter. standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And taken right on the 30. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Come on, set. Now the Wolf. Mike, 45. Watch the pass. Check three, check three, check three. Kill, 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 kill.
They turn to Scarlett again. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons' 44. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Showing it, showing it. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Hey, motion, motion, motion. Go. Buzz, buzz. Be ready, be ready. Go, go. Check 45 is the mic. Check 45 is the mic. Hey, man, hey, man.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Grady Jarrett with the tackle. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Carolina. Jordan Scarlett, 38 yards. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Extra point safely through. And the lead is now 24. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Vick, complete to Jones. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Vick. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Malik Hooker. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And to give this time to the tailback. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field. Certainly nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's 2nd down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Vick, now a desperation throw deep. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 29. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected for the second?
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now the extra point. And the lead will grow by 1 more.
Next to score, Panthers 31.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this? And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Let's get it.
3rd down.
Watch twins. Watch twins.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20.